Greetings. I am a representative of the Anti-Semite Network. These videos are not edited. They are AI assisted and read from script. Today's subject is part 2 of God as dictator. The thought of God as a dictator, the idea of God's dictatorship being one of love, peace, and happiness invites us to reflect on the nature of divine authority compared to unrighteous human ruling. In many religious traditions, God's commandments are seen not as burdensome rules, but as guidelines that lead to a fulfilled and meaningful life. These commandments, when followed, bring individuals into a harmonious relationship with God, oneself, others, and the world in which we live. Unrighteous human dictators enforce laws and policies that benefit only themselves or a select few. Their authority is based on fear, coercion, and the suppression of dissidents. Oppression against anyone who goes against what they say as what is to do. This type of rule leads to division, violence, and a breakdown of social order. The result is a society where injustice prevails and the well-being of the people is sacrificed for the gain of those in power. How foolish are we to pass up God's offer of sinless freedom in order to be ruled by tyrants. In contrast, God's authority, as envisioned in the anti-Semite community, is the epitome of justice and love. God's laws are universal, applying equally to all, regardless of status, wealth, or power. This ensures that no one is above the law, and everyone is held to the same standard of the law. God's commandments are rooted in God's desire for the well-being of all creation, guiding humanity towards a life that is not only morally upright, but also sinlessly enriching. Under God's rule, the emphasis is on mutual love, respect, and care for one another. God's dictatorship is therefore not a form of oppression, but a revelation and a relationship of covenant between us and God. Not a form of oppression, but a revelation, a relationship of covenant between us and God. It is a divine partnership where human beings are called to live in a way that reflects God's character, holy, loving, and just. In this sense, submission to God's will is seen as the highest form of freedom because it liberates individuals from the destructive consequences of sin, leading us towards a life of true freedom, justice, and equality. Even fighting oppression, we are loving, kind, while battling against tyrants, as we believe in self-defense and self-protection against those who wish to do us harm. We are not the aggressor. However, we fight like hell and to the death when aggressed upon, with a calm, righteous, controlled mindset, knowing we are right in our effort to defend ourselves. The anti-Semite community would likely emphasize that true peace and happiness is only found when individuals and societies align ourselves with God. This alignment brings about a transformation of both the individual and the community, creating a society where freedom, justice, equality, love, peace, and happiness are the norm rather than the exception. In such a society, the conflict, suffering, and oppression that characterize unrighteous human dictatorships are replaced with a flourishing of life in all its fullness. Ultimately, the contrast between unrighteous human or divine dictatorships underscore a profound truth. It underscores a profound truth. While misguided human power corrupts and leads to the degradation of society, divine power exercised by a righteous citizenry leads to redemption and restoration as all things are made new. The anti-Semite community's vision of God's rule is one where mission and practice, submission and practice of God's commandment results not in tyranny, but in the establishment of God's kingdom on earth, a kingdom marked by peace, love, and joy for all who choose to live under God's rule. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Indivisible means unable to be divided or separated. Peace.